So, this episode is going to be a little and just amazingly different episode because I'm going to have a game in the background, I'm going to have Minecraft in the background, but we're going to talk about sleep and we're going to talk about sunk cost and we're also going to talk about doing something new. So it's going to be hopefully different for me and also maybe a little bit better for me as well because I'm having something to do and there's also something in the background for you. Whether you just are into games or not, I don't know, I'm just going to take the risk, by the way, or essentially. And this is what we're going to do today. And I'm really looking forward to it because it's interesting, I think. So let's see you after the intro as always. And I'm also having a mouse there, which means that I had to plug out my HDD. So I'm recording onto my PC, and I really hope that the settings are going to be fine. The video is not going to be in 1080p as it normally is. The audio should be fine. I really care about the audio because of the podcast and because of other different reasons. And by the way, I'm having a second screen. This is why I always do this one. I'm sorry, I shouldn't do that. And I just really hope that the quality is somehow fine. I really had to tweak a lot of things so that it is not completely broken and completely shitty and completely whatnot. So I just really incredibly hope that it's going to be fine, and also really hope that this is going to be an amazing video. I'm basically going to talk about the same things in terms of sleep, at least, that I've been talking about just really a lot, but I think it is just an essential thing, and there is always going to come and be new things about sleep because we are researching it, because we're just dealing with it, because of various certain reasons. And I think we're just going to go into it. I just have to see, is it this one? Yeah, it is indeed this one. I really, really incredibly hope that it is going to be fine. I've actually... it's just normal survival for those people that just know what I'm talking about. It's normal survival, nothing new, just I really had to tweak everything down so it looks shit as fuck. Really shitty, really look shitty, but it is just something that I kind of have to deal with, I guess. But I just see that the cam there is not as it should, a little bit too big, so you can also see me, and I'm also not gonna switch around with the scenes that I'm normally having, so I'm not gonna do, maybe I'm actually gonna do this when I have to talk about something. I'm gonna do this, but normally I can't go back. This is I can't go back, which is a little bit of a fucked up thing. Can I just go into the settings right now? So I might just give myself a hotkey for, yes, it is fine, it's good, it's amazing. So the first thing I want to talk about is actually sunk costs. Why sunk cost? Because I had a lot of sunk cost right now because it just really took a lot of time for me to just set everything up and get everything ready. And by the way, I also hope that the clicks are not too loud. I am gonna, of course, try to cut them out a tiny little bit so that it's not too just of a fucked up thing. And so I had a lot of sunk cost because I had to really just tweak around a lot of things, which I mean, it takes a lot of time to figure out why something is not working and how to make something work and just all that stuff. And in the end, I gotta have to say, and this is the reason why it is sunk cost, it doesn't matter. Because and this is something that I really had to think about quite a lot in the past few, do I say times? Can I say times? I think not really. In terms of because I was working a few projects with some people, and I wasn't receiving any money, but I'm also not really mad at them for that because it is what it is. Sometimes you just don't get any money, and because in the end it was also sunk cost. It was also, this is a tiny bit of a shitty I can. Because the thing is, sunk cost means that when you have done something and you have already done something and afterwards you feel like, everything is so bad, why have I done this? It doesn't matter because you have already done. And also, which is by the way something that I'm having from Seth Godin, as so many things by the way, and it is so dark. If you, for example, get some tickets for the cinema and suddenly, because of whatever reason, I don't know why, somebody comes up to you and asks you whether you want to go with them and whatnot, maybe with somebody else as well, if you want to go with them to the theater instead of the cinema. And you think well, should I really be doing this because I've already gotten myself those cinema tickets, but you really want to go to the theater. Then it just doesn't make any sense to not go to the theater because you've already bought the tickets. It's just sunk cost. It is already gone. And it doesn't, it shouldn't also really change how you're just going on from there. Because why? Why should you? Wrong one. It's already gone. And this is the exact same thing that I've had with the project, because I don't give a shit. I wasn't just getting paid for it, but it shouldn't really change how things are. It shouldn't really change how I'm gonna act from this point on, and so many things, as well as just me, for example, being upset with just taking a lot of time to set everything up. In the end, I had to have I had to Google a few things, which means that I've again learned something. Which is always something amazing and it's always something really good. And I feel like, yeah, if I just complain about it, it's not going to make anything better. It's going to make everything worse. And I've already put in the work. So it's like, who gives a shit? You know? So this is the sunk cost. And in the end, I think just because I'm just reading it there, complaining in general is like unnecessary. Why should you complain? Why would you complain? You know, what's the benefit of complaining? There is no benefit of complaining, you know? And it is like, just don't complain, live life, have a good life. But I think I'm gonna change something there. The next thing is gonna be sleep. I think sleep is something, I mean, like it is probably something that we all know, but it is indeed something really, really, really incredibly important. What is dynamic light? I'm not gonna do that. Well, sleep is something important. We all know that, and I think, even though I do also kind of think that sometimes people are overdoing it, like making it, like, of course, I don't really know if we just know everything about sleep. I don't really think so, because no, that's not been good. Because yeah, like there's so many things that we don't know, and why should we really know everything about that? But what I've just written down is at least what I think it does change and alter and have an effect on. Definitely is metabolism. Then I think motivation as well, even though it might be energy and it might be easy to mix them up, and I'm gonna fucking die right now if I am not conscious about it, and I'm dead. Metabolism, motivation, even though it might also be energy, because of course if you just don't sleep a lot, then you're not gonna have that much energy. But fortunately everything is right back there. Yes, motivation, energy, your workouts, of course. I mean, if you're just doing a lot of sports, and especially I think if you're just a professional sportsman, then you should also consider like doing something about your sleep, because if you don't sleep a lot, you're not gonna have a lot of energy, I guess, and the recovery and all those things. Like, it is just in general. What did I just do? This was not a good thing to do. Well, anyway, does this go down there a lot? I can't see any shit. I really don't, and there's something, and I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't have done this, and no, fuck you as well. And I'm dead once again. Well, anyway. So some tricks maybe, you know, because it does affect quite a few things. So what can we do about it? I actually want to start a new game because it pisses me off. New world. I'm hopefully gonna cut out a few of these things, these times where I'm not talking about a lot of things. But a few things that I always thought are important are routines, having a routine, and having also a good routine. Like, and I would also say, which is another point of the whole sleep thing at my point of view, is just having a sleep routine and sleeping in a way that really fits your schedule and really fits how you also want to live your life. Because we all are doing things in a different way, and we all also want to do things in a different way. And so not everything is going to work for everyone. So just having the right schedule, the right thing, the right way of sleeping, the right schedule in general, actually. And yeah, all those things, I think, just does really make sense. Why is actually my thing so shitty? So routines. What is my routine? My routine is actually really easy. I just normally meditate. So I'm really gonna cut it down a little bit. I'm gonna meditate, then I'm gonna take a shit, then I'm gonna brush my teeth, because I'm always doing it just before I go to bed. I'm never ever, like, there's a lot of people that are just doing it somewhere in the day, in terms of like I don't know, after they've eaten their dinner or some shit like this. Of course, it is also gonna work out pretty fine, I guess. But yeah, it's not how I'm doing things. I don't really like it that way. Even though after I'm showering, I could of course do that, but I don't know. It's just not something that works out for me that well, I would say, I believe. So then after I've brushed my teeth, I normally meditate for 20 minutes. Of course, this is not going to be something that everyone is going to do and not everyone needs, because I found that it is something pretty great for me, but it's not going to work out just as well for everyone. I know not everyone is into meditating, not everyone is, you can actually see that really big. Yes, but I really can't see anything. It pisses me off a little tiny bit that it's so dark everywhere. Yeah, routine, the first point, a really good routine. Maybe it also consists of drinking some water. Maybe it consists of just doing some other stuff. Like there's so many things you could be doing. And I think it's just what you need actually. For example, as a sportsman, maybe stretching. This might be important. This might be a good thing. This might be a necessary thing to do. As a musician, maybe there is something you have to do with your fingers to stretch your fingers. I think just also to use your time in a good way. Like you can waste such a lot of time, but you could also be just really be smart about your time and use your time for smart things, I would say. So yeah. So this is actually the first one. Yeah, and in terms of routines in general, routines is doing certain things in certain places. What I'm referring to is that when you're doing a lot of things in your bed that are not sleeping, not some other things that we normally do in beds, then your mind or your body might associate your bed with this thing. If you just, for example, do a lot of watching videos or just that shit in your bed, then your body might mean, okay, this is what it is, what I should be doing in this place. But if you really only sleep in your bed, then your body knows, okay, if I'm in bed, then it is about to sleep. Then I should be sleeping. It might sound actually a little bit like just a woozle doozle woohoo thing, because it kind of sounds like that. But it is indeed the case. And I've also seen it, but it should also be done with just all the other things that we are doing. If we, for example, I don't know, if we talk about eating, maybe eating in your room might also not be the best thing. Like I'm having a desk there and I maybe should not be eating there, but only work so that my body knows, okay, when I'm sitting there, it is about work. Of course, some people might be having a workstation, but on the other hand, some other people might just not be able to have a workstation. It is what it is. Some people don't have the resources, but then it is fine as well, I would just say. And therefore, for example, also in terms of the routine, maybe not eating something before you go to bed might be a good idea, because some people are, I think, a little bit more, I do not necessarily want to say conscious about that, but I think some people do just can't stand that if they eat something before they go to bed because they wouldn't be able to sleep, especially if it is something heavy. I think especially if it is something like just some sweets or some other relatively unhealthy stuff, then you might just not be doing this, And also, I think even though it is something that I've also written down as well, is you should be having a sleep pattern or a sleep routine that is a part of the life that you would like to have. What I mean is that even though it sounds a little bit strange, like you're gonna have like a sleeping routine that is only kind of based on the lifestyle you want to have, even though you could also say like it's the complete difference or the complete opposite, like you should be having a life that is just tied to your sleeping routine, since it is something very essential and very important. But yeah. Therefore, yeah, just live a life like you want to live it, and for some people it's going to be this, and for some people it's going to be that, and it indeed is what it is, for some people this works, for some people that works. We can't do a lot about it, I guess. Is this working like I want it to work? I do not actually know. I don't actually think so. Does it? Nope. It does not work the way I want it to work. Just have a good routine, like the routine that fits you. And patterns, I think patterns in general are really important. And for example, and this is something that I've recently found out about, is chronotypes. Chronotypes seem to be some sort of sleeping patterns that we all seem to be having. And there is, for example, I think the bear, there's the lion, there's the wolf, and there is also the dolphin. The dolphin is somebody that is just having a really light sleep, for example. The bear seems to be the one that I am, even though I'm really not sure about that. Like, I don't know, like they say that you should go to bed when the sun rises, and you should, or when the sun goes down actually, and you should get up when the sun rises, which probably is going to leave you with some sort of like, I think 8 hours, but I'm not quite sure about that. I really am not. But I'm not quite sure about that, because even though like it is something that I tend to do, but I think need 8 hours. I think this is this might be the biggest problem that I'm having with that. So yeah, this might be this. And there's actually some quizzes you can do online, but I'm not quite sure if they're that good. I have taken this one to just figure out mine, but a lot of these questions, like, I don't know. I don't want to say that they don't make any sense, because they might be thought out. I really don't know. But yeah. I don't know. Like, there's some questions that I just don't quite quote unquote believe in. Like, for me, they just don't make too much sense. And yeah. not that of a nice thing, not that of a good thing, as I have seen actually. Do I can? Yes. So we're gonna have that. I'm gonna make this. So then something else maybe. Yes, temperature. If you can't sleep and if you do have sleeping problems, then sometimes it might just be about the temperature that you're having in your room or in wherever you are. This is, I think, a common thing. Like a lot of people are gonna have problems with warmer temperatures. Even though, like, I do then wonder what people are doing that are naturally living in warmer places. If, I don't know, like, I think you can get used to it, and there's probably a lot of getting used to things. And yeah, but naturally, I think people say, like, it is 18 degrees or some shit that is just the best for most people, which I would kind of say yes. It is actually a really good temperature, even though I always thought like it's a little bit too cold for me, but it is not, because if you get used to a certain temperature in a room, then it doesn't feel that bad, to be honest. You know, it is like, I mean, it is what it is then. Something else that might be, of course, eating healthy in general. Not only not just only eating in terms of eating before you just do something and stuff, but also eating in general. Like, it is going to play a huge role in your entire life, I would say. Oh, I could also do it like this, I guess. Yes, I can. So eating in general. If you eat healthy, I believe, I don't know, I can't back that with science or some shit. So I don't really know. But I deeply assume that it is going to be the case, you know, that if you eat unhealthy all the fucking time, then, I mean, there have to be some issues that you're going to have with your sleep, since there's going to be health issues and stuff like that. And yes, I'm just digging like the most inefficient way, I would say, like, really. But yeah, something else, working out. I mean, it depends. If you just, the point that I want to make is, if you work out, then you're going to be tired. And if you're tired, then you're probably going to be able to sleep better. Normally, you know, regularly, most often, it is going to be the case. But, so yeah, do something over the course of the day. Like, I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense for a better sleep. I think it is just good. And I found what I wanted to find. Yes, I found what I wanted to find. So maybe workout. Is there something else that I wanted to talk about today? Metabolism, motivation, workout. Yes. In general, since I'm actually often, unfortunately, doing that, I'm often sleep depriving myself because of whatever reason, to be honest. I just don't, sometimes I how should I say? Like, I do not want to go to bed. I do want to just do something, because normally over the course of the day, I'm working all the fucking time and I'm doing something. And then in the end of the day, I do just really want to I really just want to rest a bit, and I really want to, chill out a little bit. And then most often it is the case that I have to go to bed, because I tend to just also do things very late in the day, in terms of like, there's always going to be something that I have to do quite. And I mean, I could, of course, start chilling a little bit earlier, and then everything is fine, which kind of is, I think, now kind of about like structuring your sleeping pattern, or structuring your day in terms of your sleeping pattern, or just that it is working with your sleeping pattern and that everything is fine. But I don't know. I think what I'm doing and what I'm referring to and what I'm thinking about is something that's quite common for a lot of people. Being like, okay, I did something the whole day long and I just also want to chill out a little bit. This is why I just don't go to bed, even though I know it would be smart. Yeah, I would say so. But in general, like, there is a lot of energy, I think, that you lose. And also, if you're working out, which is another point, working out is not only good for just getting sleepy, but if you don't get proper sleep, then you're going to notice that. And I have noticed this as well. If I don't sleep that much, then I'm also not going to be that lean as I could be. My body's not going to... My body's not going to work on its optimal levels. My body's going to work in a different way, on a different level as well, which means that I'm not going to be that in a good of shape. I'm not going to be in that of a good shape, just because I don't actually know why. Maybe it's just not efficient with burning fat that well, or just building anything, or just doing anything, since it's not having the energy, my body. This could be the case, but I'm quite unsure about that, to really be honest. So this is another negative point of just not sleeping. Besides also maybe having emotional problems, which is something that I've experienced kind of as well, just being way more angry than you usually are, being a fucking dick, and all those things. Like, it is gonna be something different, you know. You're gonna act differently, probably, and it's not good. It's not good, which can be turning out to you having problems with people because you're such a dick, because you haven't been sleeping. And I've also had that, and this is nothing funny then. It really is not. And yeah, just also think about that, have a look at that, and notice this in your life, because it might also be the case for you. I don't know, might also not be. Like, it just might only be the case for me, like with all the things that I've been talking about today. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be the case that besides all the biological things, like, of course there's just going to be some things that are always going to be the case, that are natural to us human beings and stuff. But yeah, so sleep in general is a really important thing, and I really hope that I've been able to just give you some ideas and some thoughts about things. And maybe just talk about the episode and what I think about just playing a game while I'm recording. I see that I kind of get off track way more often. Like, it's not that straightforward. It is nicer because it is. Because I just don't have to always, I think about the stuff. You know, even though, like, if I don't think enough about stuff, then I'm only going to talk about some shit, which is also something that I do not want to do. But it might also be just more interesting for some other people if there's something in the background they might be enjoying. I don't know, could be, you know. And I think in general, trying out new stuff, which is something that I also wanted to talk about today, is something that's quite of a, what did I do there? Quite of a good thing, you know, because I don't know, who knows what is going to work and what is not going to work. Nobody knows. And it's actually pretty dark. It is actually pretty dark. I'm actually having a lot of coal now. What should I do now? I kind of only have to wait. Yes, I don't know. And I think we all should try out more things. Whatever it might be, you can really indeed try out a lot of things. Inside of the thing that you're just doing. You know, I'm just, I don't know, I talk about the exact same thing, and I also want to talk about the exact same things because it is something essential for me, and I think I just still want to provide value. And I mean, value doesn't mean just entertainment. Value means entertainment and information and whatever. So yeah, you know, for me, kind of the best thing to do is just having entertainment and information, which I think is just a really good combination of things. So now you're working once again. I'm very sorry if you wasn't able to hear me or so, if you weren't able to hear me. But yeah, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I just really hope, if there's any questions, I am really stoked and happy to answer all of them. If they're in detail, I'm also gonna just, I don't know, hit me up on just Instagram or some shit, and I could just give you a speech memo shit thing, you know what I mean? But yeah, thank you very, very, very much.